The dazzling city of Dubai has become the holiday hotspot of the United Arab Emirates. This city of high-rises and shopping malls has transformed itself from a desert outpost to a destination du jour, where tourists flock for sales bargains, sunshines, and family fun. Welcome to the GlobeTrotter, where today we'll be looking into the top 10 locations to visit during your trip to the outstanding and beautifully man-made wonder of Dubai. But before we begin today's video, be sure to subscribe to the channel in order to stay tuned for even more content down the road. Number 10. Heritage and Diving Village. Dubai's architectural, cultural, and maritime heritage is showcased at the Heritage and Diving Village, with displays related to pearl diving and dhow building, two of old Dubai's historic economic mainstays. There are also recreations of traditional Bedouin and coastal village life, with Persian homes, a traditional coffee house, and a small souk, where potters and weavers practice their crafts at the stalls. Local music and dance are performed from October to April, and visitors can get advice from practitioners of traditional medicine. Those who visit boast about the old-timey setting that the village has to offer, emphasizing the charm of locally handcrafted artisans, the small roadside cafes, and the simpler day-to-day living of the local residents. Number 9. Dubai Creek and Al Seef District. Dubai Creek separates the city into two towns, with Deira to the north and Bur Dubai to the south. The creek has been an influential element in the city's growth, first attracting settlers here to fish and pearl dive. Small villages grew up alongside the creek as far back as 4,000 years ago, while the modern era began in the 1830s, when the Bani Yas tribe settled in the area. The Dhow Wharfage is located along Dubai Creek's bank, north of Al Maktoum Bridge. Still used by small traders from across the Gulf, some of the dhows anchored here are well over 100 years old. You can visit here, watching cargo being loaded and unloaded on and off the dhows. Dhow workers often invite visitors onto the vessels for a tour, where you can gain insight into the life of these traditional sailors. Many of the dhows here travel onward to Kuwait, Iran, Oman, India, and down to Africa's Horn. This tiny remnant of Dubai's traditional economy is still a bustling and fascinating place to wander around. On the Bur Dubai side of the creek, rubbing up against the Bostakia neighborhood, the waterfront has been regenerated as the Al Seef District, with a waterfront promenade backed by traditional coral block and limestone buildings, a floating market, and shops selling crafts. It's a great place for a stroll with excellent water views. To travel across the creek, you can either take a trip on one of the many dhows that have been restored as tourist cruise boats, or take an abra, which is a small wooden ferry, between the ferry points on the creek's Bur Dubai and Deira banks. Number 8. Deira. Deira lies on the northern bank of Dubai Creek, and the winding streets here unveil the melting pot of different nationalities that have come to call Dubai home. On the shore, ancient dhows load and unload with modern banks, hotels, and office buildings as a backdrop. For travelers, Deira is most famous for its traditional souks, or markets, which bustle with shops at all times of the day. Deira Gold Souk is world-renowned as the largest gold bazaar in the world. The Deira Spice Souk sells every imaginable spice, with stalls overflowing with bags of frankincense, cumin, paprika, saffron, sumac, and thyme, as well as the fragrant oud wood, rosewater, and incense. The fish market provides a much less touristy experience. While in the district, culture lovers shouldn't miss two of Deira's finely restored architectural gems. Heritage House was built in 1890 as the home of a wealthy Iranian merchant, and later became the home of Sheikh Ahmed bin Dalmouk, who is a famous pearl merchant in Dubai. Today, it's a great chance to see the interior of a traditional family home. The Al Ahmadiyya School, constructed in 1912, is the oldest school in Dubai and is now a museum of public education. Number 7. Sheikh Saeed Al Maktoum House. Sheikh Saeed Al Maktoum was the ruler of Dubai from 1921 to 1958 and grandfather to the current ruler. His former residence has been built and restored as a museum that is a fine example of Arabian architecture. The original house was built in 1896 by Sheikh Saeed's father, so he could observe shipping activity from the balconies. It was demolished, but the current house was rebuilt next to the original site, staying true to the original model by incorporating carved teak doors, wooden lattice screens across the windows, and gypsum ventilation screens with floral and geometric designs. 30 rooms are built around a central courtyard, with wind tower details on top. Inside are the exhibits of the Dubai Museum of Historical Photographs and Documents, with many wonderful old photographs of Dubai from the period between 1948 and 1953. The marine wing of the museum has photos of fishing, pearling, and boat building. Throughout the building, there are many letters, maps, coins, and stamps on display, showing the development of the emirate. Nearby is the Sheikh Obeid bin Thani House, restored with displays of traditional interiors. Number 6. Ras Al Khor Wildlife Sanctuary. You don't have to travel far from the bustling traffic and sprawling urban infrastructure of the manufactured Dubai in order to witness some natural beauty. Located just as its name suggests, translated from Arabic into Cape of the Creek, Ras Al Khor is among the few urban protected areas across the globe. The Dubai municipality has taken great efforts to protect and preserve the biodiversity of this delicate ecosystem. The wetland has been fenced off from the public, and 3 birding hides have been built. The bird hides are a first step towards the development of more elaborate visitor education facilities in the protected area. The WWF United Arab Emirates Project Office collaborated with Dubai Municipality's Environment Department in setting up the facilities located within the sanctioned space. As more and more people voice interest in experiencing natural sights and beauties, all while expressing preservation, expect further steps towards public facilities and access points into Ras Al Khor. Presently, there are 3 publicly accessible birding hides that were mentioned before. Which are a great opportunity to experience one of the biggest attractions the sanctuary has to offer. Home to about 500 greater flamingos, these brightly feathered events have become a sort of pseudo mascot for Dubai's wildlife protection program. Number 5. Dubai Parks and Resorts. At Dubai Parks and Resorts, your entertainment needs are all rolled together into one location. The only problem here is choosing what you want to do. This mammoth project incorporates a swag of world-class theme parks providing something for everyone, whatever your age. Motion Gate takes its theme from Hollywood productions, with rides based around movie blockbusters. Bollywood Parks brings the world of India's famous movie industry alive on its rides. And Legoland Dubai and Legoland Water Park provide younger visitors with a fun-packed day out on its interactive rides, water slides, and wave pool. The district's attached Riverland Dubai dining hub means that there is no need to leave after you've exhausted yourself with theme park pursuits, as there's plenty of evening entertainment here as well. Number 4. Dubai Opera. For nighttime attractions, look no further. Opening in mid-2016, Dubai's classy new opera building is the centerpiece of the Waterfront Opera District in downtown Dubai and set to become the city's major cultural hub and main entertainment venue. The Dubai Opera hosts a year-round program of famous musical theater productions, concerts by world-class musicians, opera, ballet, and classical music, as well as smaller productions, comedy nights, and concerts. The 2,000-seat theater building itself is an astonishing piece of architectural mastery and one of Dubai's new landmarks, with its highly contemporary glass and steel walls jutting out over the waterfront, built to resemble the curves of a traditional dhow. Number 3. Burj Al Arab. The Burj Al Arab is the world's tallest hotel, standing 321 meters high on its own artificial island on the Dubai coastline. Designed to resemble a billowing dhow sail, the exterior of the building is lit up by a choreographed colored lighting show at night. Decadent in every way possible, the Burj Al Arab is one of the most expensive hotels in the world, with the most luxurious suites costing more than $15,000 for one night. For those without unlimited credit, the way to experience the over-the-top opulence is to go for dinner at the underwater Al Mahara restaurant, where floor-to-ceiling glass panels in the dining room walls allow you to view sea life while you eat. Or you can enjoy lunch at California-style fusion restaurant Saeed. For the ultimate panoramic views over the city, book afternoon tea at the Skyview Bar on the 27th floor. Number 2. Jumeirah Beach. This strip of sandy white bliss is the #1 beach destination for Dubai visitors. Hotels are strung out all along its length, with this being one of the most popular places to stay for tourists. The beach has excellent facilities, with plenty of sun lounges, restaurants, and water sports operators offering jet skiing. While in the area, brush off the sand for an hour and visit the Majlis Ghorfat Al Sheikh, just a short hop from the beach. Built in 1955, this was the summer residence of the late Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum. The residence, made out of gypsum and coral block, has been restored and maintains much of the original beautiful decor, giving you a better understanding of the opulent lifestyle of Dubai's rulers. The Majlis Gardens feature a reproduction of an impressive Arab irrigation system and many shady date palms. Number 1. Burj Khalifa. Dubai's landmark building is the Burj Khalifa, which at 829.8 meters is the tallest building in the world and the most famous of the city's points of interest. For most visitors, a trip to the observation deck on the 124th floor here is a must-do while in the city. The views across the city skyline from this bird's-eye perspective are simply staggering. The slick observation deck experience includes a multimedia presentation on both Dubai and the building of the Burj Khalifa, which was completed in 2010, before a high-speed elevator whizzes you up to the observation deck for those 360-degree views, out across the skyscrapers to the desert on one side and the ocean on the other. Nighttime visits are particularly popular with photographers due to Dubai's famous city lights panoramas. Buy your Burj Khalifa at the top entrance ticket in advance to avoid long lineups, especially if you're planning to visit on a weekend. Back on the ground, wrapping around the Burj Khalifa are the building's beautifully designed gardens with winding walkways. There are plenty of water features, including the Dubai Fountain, the world's tallest performing fountain, modeled on the famous fountains of Bellagio in Las Vegas. We hope you enjoyed this trip throughout the marvelous wonder that is the city of Dubai and its surrounding attractions. Do you agree with what's on our list? Have any recommended sites or locations you would have liked to see for future videos? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button in order to know when new videos and lists come out.